is Rebecca Schissel-Marshall with Whole Body Upgrade, a podcast to help you get unstuck, feel better, and have more energy. Let's get started. Welcome back to Whole Body Upgrade. I'm Rebecca Schissel-Marshall, and let's start by welcoming in the directions. I welcome in the great direction of the east, the direction of the south, and the west and the north, and I welcome in all the helping, compassionate spirits that are here to support us all. And I welcome in the ancestors that have lived well and died well, and the spirits who are here to support us, and the spirits of the land, and the spirits of the people, our loved ones who are all around us. And I acknowledge that I'm on the land of the Creek and the Cherokee in what is now known as Athens, Georgia. Hello, my friends. How are you? I'm glad to be here with you today. It's so springy here in Georgia. Everything is blooming. There is a yellow film over every surface from the pollen. If you're not familiar with Georgia, you need to come in April at some point because it is unbelievable. Some people shovel snow in northern places. We sweep pollen. That's what we do. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. I'm actually doing really well. I'm doing really well in this big scheme of how things are. It's really hard to kind of explain because it doesn't mean that I'm happy all the time, but I am doing really well because I am paying attention, because I am taking care of myself, because I am present to what is happening and noticing. And that has made a huge difference anytime I do that in my life. And I'm super excited about what's coming up this week. I have a free rest session that I'm offering on Friday. So if you've attended that before, you're welcome to come again. If you haven't, please come join us. It was really lovely the last time we did that 2 weeks ago, and I would love to have you there. And these rest sessions are part of this new community I'm building. I was telling someone the other day what I've really been wanting in my life is more community. And so I'm creating it. I'm creating the community that I want to have. And that is opening. It's opening this week, actually. So there'll be an email going out about that. If you haven't gotten it already, it'll be coming soon. And what I'm noticing is as I sink deeper into rest and all of these components, I am just seeing so many different connections in things. Things I've talked about previously, I'm seeing them in a different light now. And it's really, it's very fun. It's been very fun. And what I have seen is that rest is really the foundation for wellness on all levels, whether we're talking about physical health, like our bodies need to rest and rest in a different way than we're used to resting them. Our minds, our emotions, it's such a neglected part of our society. And I feel really grateful that I am able to cultivate that for my community and for anyone who would like to join my community. So today I'm going to talk about another component of rest. And I've talked about this before in the podcast. I'm going to talk about SelfCompassion. I know at least way back at episode 11, I talked about SelfCompassion, and really, it's been such a huge part of my own life and my own transformation in my life over the years. It's the heart of the work that I do with my clients as well. I find that it's the heart of everything. It is the basis of everything. And that's why it's so important, is because when we are compassionate with ourselves, honestly, anything is possible. We can do anything that we want to do. So I know, like I've been talking about rest a lot, and I know how challenging it is to rest because I have lived it. I have lived that not really being able to rest. It can be so hard to actually stop doing all the things that we need to be doing or that we think we need to be doing. Sitting still and not doing can be extremely hard because there is this critical voice in the head, right? If you're watching the video, you know I always use this like, right? That critical voice in the head that's yelling about something, about why we should be more productive, or about why we should be doing whatever it is we think we should be doing, or why we're being lazy, or that we shouldn't be resting, right? All of those things. You might even find it hard, like, right, I'm setting aside this very specific rest session, and you might find it hard even to show up for that rest session, right? That you might notice that, well, there's a voice that says, well, I'm too busy. I'll do it next time, which, side note, this is the last free rest session I'm going to offer at this time that I know of. And then these rest sessions will be a part of the community, A Place to Rest. So the voice says, right, well, I'll do it later. I'm behind. I really just don't have time, right? Notice how the voice will talk you out of coming to that kind of a rest session, or even your own rest. Oh, I should take a nap, but just this one more thing before the kids get home. Just this one more thing before the end of the day, right? So notice what that voice says about whatever comes up around rest. And then I want you to notice how it feels in your body. Okay, notice how that feels in your body. Do you feel heavy? Or for me, it feels kind of like sludge. Does it feel sludgy? These sensations, as we've talked about before in the podcast, are your body communicating to you what it is actually feeling, right? It's like a compass for which direction to go or to not go. And I'm gonna circle back around to that. So hold on to the body piece. When we practice self-compassion, basically it boils down to a practice of being available for yourself, right? Showing up for yourself. We avoid it because when we get still, when we get quiet, all the stuff comes up that we haven't been paying attention to, right? That when we finally sit still, that stuff comes up, and it is so uncomfortable to feel them, right? So uncomfortable. Self-compassion is the ability to learn to sit with all of that uncomfortable stuff and not make it go away or try to change it, right? Self-compassion is just like, oh, wow, you're having a hard time. How can I help you? Right? Oh, wow, this seems really difficult. I get it, right? Self-compassion is noticing with gentle and loving curiosity. When you are there for yourself, when you show up for yourself with that kindness over and over again, it becomes easier to rest. And I think that's because there's this relationship that we've built with ourselves, right? That is built on trust and love and compassion. You begin to understand and know that when big stuff comes up, or little stuff, right? Any stuff, when any stuff comes up, the compassionate part of you will be there, will be present, will be available, not that critical voice in your head that makes you feel heavy or yucky. Then it becomes easier to turn to the stillness. So self-compassion is at the heart of rest because it creates the safety, necessary to rest in a society that doesn't promote or even condone rest. When it feels safe, when rest feels safe, or just when there is safety, right? Then the nervous system can switch out of the fight, flight, freeze component mode that we're in and shift into the parasympathetic rest and digest, right? Which is, we have to have both, right? We have to be able to turn on the fight, flight, or freeze, and we want to be able to switch out of it. Most of us stay in a constant state of it being on. So the physical body then has an opportunity to change, right? The physiology changes because there's a whole different cascade of neurotransmitters that happens. There's less cortisol, there's more oxytocin or serotonin, right? There's different hormones that are being released into the body when there is safety. So if you are feeling like you can't quite rest yet, if that feels challenging, my encouragement is to just simply start with compassion, self-compassion. What kind words can you say to yourself today, right? That's to create the safety. It could be you say something like, I see you trying so hard, right? Or I have my own back no matter what. And you can ask yourself, you can see, what do you want to hear today? Like if you could just really have your best friend or your partner, or this is right, this relationship, what would you like to hear today that would feel really good? Say it with love, say it with compassion. Maybe even place your hand on your heart as you say that kind thing. Then I want you to notice how it feels in your body when you show up for yourself with compassion. Right? Does it feel that same heavy or sludgy that it felt before? Or does it feel different? Right? The body compass, the heavy sludgy, is usually like, oh, that's what our body compass is saying. Not right now. But the lighter, the more nurturing, that's what we want to move towards. And that's usually, in my experience, that's what self-compassion brings about. Okay, dear ones, I would love for you to practice self-compassion. See how it works. See what you can try today, saying something kind, loving, generous to yourself, and see how it might help you rest. See if there's a connection for you that you notice. And of course, if you would like support, that's what A Place to Rest, this rest session that I'm offering on Friday, is all about. My nervous system, I've been practicing regulating my nervous system, so we show up in a place that is compassionate, non-judgmental, and with a regulated nervous system so that I can hold that space for you all, or in the South, for y'all, to come and feel that sensation of safety, self-compassion, and rest. Okay, dear ones, the rest session is Friday, April 15th. So it is probably by the time you listen to this, it'll be tomorrow. It's A Place to Rest community is starting the week after that. I'm super excited about it, and I hope to see you there. Okay, dear ones, take good care of yourself. Bye-bye. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Whole Body Upgrade. If you'd like to learn more about working with me, you can visit me on Facebook or Instagram, or on my website, centeredyou, that's centeredyou.com. See you on the next
next episode of Whole Body Upgrade.